What's up, guys? Today, for our final back-to-school project for this month, I'm going to show you how to make the quintessential pencil pouch. The things you're going to need to make this pencil pouch are one piece of outside fabric, one piece of lining fabric, and one piece of batting measuring 14 inches by 15 inches. You'll need a piece of fabric measuring 4 inches by 6 inches for our loop, a 12-inch zipper, a glue stick or spray based, and also a sewing machine with a zipper foot. Now I'm also going to use my serger today just for ease and speed, but like I always say, you don't have to have the serger. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my loop fabric here, I'm going to fold it in half the long way, and I'm going to give it a press. Now I'm just going to open it back up, and I'm going to fold this edge to the center crease and give it a finger press, and do the same thing on the other side. Now just fold it again and give it a good press. And as you can see, now there are no raw edges exposed. So we're going to take this over to our sewing machine, and using an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance on the side that has 2 folds, I'm just going to run a straight stitch all the way down. Just like that. You could also go ahead and run another stitch line right down this fold to even it out, but I don't think it's necessary. Now just set this aside. Next, we're going to take our piece of batting and our fabric that we want showing on the outside. Today I'm going to use this cute sushi print, and using our glue stick, we're going to glue this to the batting. I like to go around the outside and then just do an X in the middle. Now you want to carefully line this up on your batting and smooth it out to make sure there's no folds, wrinkles, or creases. Now we're just going to flip this over, smooth it out again, and as you can see over here, I do have a little bit showing, so I didn't get it quite even, but that's alright, because we're going to trim this down to a smaller size. Next, you want to take your lining fabric, and I'm using this yellow, and we're going to do the same thing. And like I said, if you don't have a glue stick, you could use spray based or just pin these 3 layers together. Now we have a quilt sandwich. The next thing we're going to do is take this over to our sewing machine, and we're going to do some quilting. Now you could do as much quilting or as little quilting as you want, but what I'm going to do is do a cross-hatch quilting. And to do that, I'm just going to line up my ruler from corner to corner here. And with a piece of chalk, a pencil, or I'm going to use this marker, you just want to mark the line. Now I'm going to lay my ruler 2 inches away from that line and draw another line. And now 2 inches away from that. Now you just want to flip your fabric over and continue to do the 2-inch lines to fill this up. Now I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine, and with a straight stitch, I'm going to sew right on the lines. You don't have to worry about back stitching here because, like I said before, we're going to trim this down to size. I like to start in the middle one and then keep pressing my fabric out before I sew this next line, and that just helps me keep it straight and smooth. Now it should look something like this. Now I was going to go ahead and make a crosshatch design on here, but I'm kind of liking the look of just this diagonal quilting, so I think I'm going to leave it like this. Now our next step we're going to do is we're going to trim down this rectangle that's 14 by 15, and we're going to trim it down to 13 by 14. So what I like to do is just line it up here on my ruler, make sure I have a little bit over here to cut off, and here's my 13 mark. And make sure there's a little bit there that I'm cutting off also. Now just rotate your fabric. Now line it up, so I'm going to cut this 14 inches wide. And the same thing, make sure you're cutting off some on this side and cutting off some on that side. Now I'm going to take this over to my serger, and I'm going to serge the edges here, and that just helps me when I put on the zipper later. And as I always say, you don't need to use a serger, you can just use a zigzag stitch, and when you zig, you hit the fabric, and when you zag, you just come off the edge here. Or you could just skip this step completely, but I do think it does help keep your fabric in line. Now just clip your strings. Now when I serged this, I did not cut off any fabric. I just ran the edge along the edge of my serger just to enclose these raw edges. Now the next thing we're going to do is to attach the zipper. When I first started sewing, I had nothing but problems trying to get zippers on. But once you get the hang of it, after that it's pretty easy. Now you want to find the 13-inch side of our piece of fabric here, and you want the side that's going to show facing up and our lining facing down. You then want to line up the edge of your zipper tape with the edge of our fabric and put some pins or clips, and you want to make sure that the pull of the zipper is facing down. Now you can see, even though this is a 12-inch zipper, that it is wider than our 13-inch side of fabric here, and that's just fine. You just want to make sure there's a little bit of tape hanging off of each side. Now I'll meet you over at the sewing machine to show you how to sew this on. Now we just need to attach our zipper foot to our sewing machine. And how this works is that there's a little groove down here that will slide up and down the zipper teeth without hitting your zipper teeth. You could also attach this on the left side or the right side of the needle. And for this first part, I'm going to attach it on the left side of my foot. So what you want to do is, on my machine, I just lift up the presser foot. There's a little switch here. And you just want to line up your zipper foot. Like I said, I'm going to do it on the left side first. And then just push down. and your zipper foot is locked. You also want to make sure that your stitch width on your sewing machine is at 0. Now you just want to sew a straight stitch. When you get down to the bottom, you want to leave a good 1 to 2 inches. We're going to put our needle down, lift your presser foot, and you want to open up your zipper. This part can be a little tricky. Just like that. Now continue sewing the rest of the way. And it should look something like this. Now we're going to flip this over. We're going to fold our zipper tape down towards the lining side, and we're going to top stitch right here along the side, making sure we catch our zipper tape. Now I like to do this from the back side to make sure I'm catching my tape. You can just leave your zipper foot right on there. And about 1/4 of an inch away from your first stitch, we're going to do another stitch. Just like that. Now when we open and close our zipper, none of this fabric will get in the way. Now you just want to do the same thing on the other side. Now this time our zipper pull will be at the top, so what I'd like to do is open it up to about halfway and start sewing it down. Now you just want to open up your bag all the way, and we're going to top stitch this side down. It does get a little tight here at the bottom, but if you just keep everything nice and flat, it should be okay. And it should look like this. You can see that this is how we attach the zipper, and this is the top stitching. And on the other side, it looks like that. Now you can finish off this bag a couple different ways. But what I'm going to do is just lay both sides flat with my zipper in the middle. And also, now's the time that you want to put our loop in. And I like to stick it on the side where your zipper pull would be when it's all the way closed, just so you have something to hold on to when you open and close it. And if I didn't mention this already, you want your bag inside out so that the lining is on top. I'm going to stick my loop right down here at the bottom, leaving about 1/4 inch sticking out, and then just put some clips to hold it in place. Now finally, I'm going to take this over to my serger, and I'm going to serge these edges closed. If you don't have a serger, I suggest running a straight stitch with about a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then come back with a zigzag stitch just for some added stability. And there you have it. Now when you sew your side seams here and here, you want to make sure that your zipper is partially the way open, otherwise it's going to be hard to turn it inside out. Now you just want to turn your pencil pouch inside out. Be sure to poke out your corners. And there you have it. A nice, large pencil pouch that would fit glue, your scissors, just about anything you would want to put in here. You could also use this as a makeup bag. Now I hope you like this video and you give it a try. If you like this video, go down below and give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, go down below and hit that big red subscribe button. If you learned something from this video, feel free to share it across your social medias. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.